Welcome, everybody, to the newly upgraded Intoxicated Sports Report. I'm Emerson Hip, and he is Gage Samoji.
We got some juice today. I'm just feeling nice.
Something that's a little fresher today.
A little fresh. We got the microphones on for people that can see us.
Yes, we have mics. They're very cheap. They may not be amazing, but we would love some feedback from you if you have some, from our regular listeners.
We did our own little comparison. I think these sound not miles away better than what we did before, but I think it does sound better.
I think the consistency of volume will be much better with these. So see how it goes.
And when we have guests, the rare times that we do, it might sound a little different because we only have two
You're
microphones.
Right. Yeah. We'll probably have
now.
to go back to the normal situation.
But please let us know how it sounds. We would love that.
Yes.
See if you like it. See if you don't. We'll kind of go off what you guys say.
Yeah.
Also, we have kind of a new setup.
Slightly new format.
New format, thank you.
Yeah.
Format for what we're doing today. And you will soon see that
Yes.
or hear that. Looking forward to that. Because I was thinking last week, sometimes we do episodes, and I'm like, man, it just wasn't
anything to it.
it just wasn't anything to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was kind of last week.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen all the time. Like, I'm not going to make it seem like we don't, like every week is just a bummer.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we became a little redundant, and we've been doing it kind of the same way for a really long time. And there's not going to be a monumental change that you're going to notice necessarily, but it will be a little different than in the past.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
What are we drinking?
A little vodka Collins today.
Cheers.
It was a nice day today. It's cooled down considerably, but
I think last time I checked, it was supposed to be 80 today. I don't know if it got higher or lower than that.
I'm not sure if it
ever-
quite reached that, but it was close.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It's one of those days you're like, you know what? I like living here.
Yeah.
I like living here.
We have the second game of the Western Conference Finals on right now. It is getting late in the fourth quarter, I believe. Nuggets up 12.
Lakers are blowing it.
Yeah, Denver just hit 2 big-time threes back-to-back.
You're telling me the Denver Nuggets are going to be 2 games away from the finals, possibly?
It's yeah.
Also a little surprising that in their franchise history they did not make it to the finals.
I was thinking about that. I didn't think they had.
So you know what they're going to do if they win the next 2 more games? They're going to do something that I'm not a fan of. They're going to put Western Conference Finals or Western Conference Champions banner, which
I bet the Lakers would do the same.
they don't put up conference champions.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think they do.
I think they might.
You really think so?
I think so.
I don't think
I think it's possible.
I think all those yellow banners that you see are their championship ones.
It's also possible.
Well, here's the thing with the Nuggets. If they win the finals, they don't need, in my opinion, to put up a conference championship banner. Because you won the finals. Just leave it as that, and now you got something to go off.
Well, you could kind of celebrate both at the same time, since they don't have a huge history. They had another three.
Yeah, Jamal Murray's all of a sudden Steph Curry.
He's cooking. Put some back up 12 with just under 5 minutes to go. I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought. But
I'm going to finish this drink, and I'm going to get a beer.
there you go.
I think the Lakers at one point in this game, in the first half, were up 10.
I believe you're right. I saw it was at least 40 to 32 at one point. So it may have even grown more than that.
LeBron was 18, 8, and 9 as of right now. 7 for 16 field goals. Pretty good.
That's
40%, 47%.
That's pretty average, yeah, for Brown. Let's see. Did you see he's pulling his kid out of Sierra Canyon High School?
I did see that.
Kind of interesting.
His youngest son, right?
Right. I didn't really see. They didn't say why in the article, but
What beers do you want out of this?
I don't really care. You can have whatever you like.
You know me. I'm going with the Sierra Nevada and the can. Baby.
There you go.
Gotta do it. Let's see how this sounds on the microphone. There we go. There we go.
Right up and close.
Have to.
So the Lakers did lead at as much as 11 at one point. To confirm your point.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of. Actually, there's not a lot of time.
4 minutes left, down 8. This game's still in the
It's
balance.
kind of how the first game went for for the Lakers.
A little bit. Nuggets got up to a big lead though.
They do. They're up like 20 at one point, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And the Nuggets have 5 more turnovers than the Lakers do. What's their shooting percentage right now for the team?
Let's see. Let's go back to team stats. Both teams not shooting the ball great. Lakers are 43 and Denver 45.
Wow. The rebound, I mean, it's...
Oh, we're getting updates before they even happen on TV. So Lakers are about to hit a 3 that we don't know about. But nonetheless,
Who do you think hits it? LeBron.
Uh,
He is shooting too many threes.
I agree.
He can't hit them.
We're gonna discuss it, but yes, I agree.
And
Anthony Davis.
And I heard Colin Cowherd kind of make a good point about him shooting threes. Is that it's easier for him to shoot a three and then get back on defense quicker because he's closer to the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get that, but I'd like the higher percentage shot more often.
Also, we have a game now. Only
Yes.
5 points.
Yes, we have a game for sure. Also on the other side, actually, we'll get to it. I shouldn't say that. Gage, what's going on today?
We got some baseball, got some NHL, like you said. A little bit of basketball, of course, and yeah.
Gonna break down the NBA playoffs.
Yes. Before all that, we got some intoxicated news to go over.
Yes, sir.
Our Giants improved to 20-23 after sweeping the National League champion
That's right.
Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia Phillies. Shout out Theo Vaughn.
Theo, where are you at?
I'm actually not a huge Theo Vaughn guy.
You can
fun-
take him in doses.
He's funny.
He's funny.
He's funny, but I think I don't know.
Could I sit down and listen to him talk for a long time? No, I'd lose my mind.
No.
But he has clips. He has some great clips.
Yeah. So the Giants, like I said, only 3 games under 500, and they welcome the Marlins this week for a 3-game series starting tomorrow. Michael Conforto is heating up after a slow start. 11 hits, 4 home runs in his last 8 games.
It's nice to see him get going. The Giants didn't make a bunch of splashy moves, obviously, this offseason, but him and Conforto and Haniger were like the 2 biggest investments they made, and those guys have been struggling so far.
Do you know how much I've heard on the radio about how fast Casey Schmidt can throw the baseball across the diamond?
Well, you see he actually has the fastest throw right now in Major League Baseball
I
this year.
have not seen him with my own eyes play. I've heard the game that I've heard
Bro,
on the radio.
He's got a gun.
Does
he
he?
really has a gun, yeah.
That's awesome. This is exactly what we wanted.
It's a sight to see. And he looks like he steps into it pretty good, but it looks pretty effortless at the same
How
time.
old is this kid?
I think he's 24.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's gross, but it sounds about right.
Yeah. No, he's nice. And Nuggets are giving this one away.
Hey, it's not. It's still. Oh,
AD for 3 again?
No,
Back iron.
it's just he shouldn't be shooting threes either.
Well, he's a heat check, make one, see if he can make another.
It's too late in the game for heat checks. Only Steph Curry gets away with heat checks.
Fair enough.
Like Jamal Murray Cash. You see, that's why you can't let that happen.
Yep.
Conference finals are underway in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game 1 of Panthers Hurricanes. It's on now, isn't it?
It is on right now. I was just going to give an update. I think, so it's in overtime, actually, 2-2. I thought I saw that the Panthers scored, but maybe they wiped it off the board. I think they may have.
Overtime playoff hockey.
Oh, it's nothing like it. There's literally nothing like it.
I've said this before, but I always think of us at Palisades when they played the Sabres? Sharks?
No,
it was
Nashville.
Nashville.
The Predators, yeah.
I always get the Predators and the Sabres mixed up.
Similar colors, yeah. I think of that too, but I think more so of when the Sharks beat Vegas in game 6 back at Rubicon.
That's probably the better pick because
Yeah.
the Sharks actually won that game, and I think the Sharks lost
They
that
did
game.
lose the game.
But I just remember us being, we were at Palisades until 11 drinking.
Oh yeah, they were closed and they just let us hang out and keep watching the game.
And I remember the guy working behind the bar was like, he's like, it's great for business.
Yeah.
Because I went a couple overtimes. I want to say.
I think it was second overtime.
Second
that it
overtime.
finished, yeah. That was a wild game. Yes, overtime hockey, something special, no doubt.
Also, the Stars and the Knights will begin tomorrow. Joe Pavelski tied Stars record with 8 goals in their series against the Kraken.
Chuck's boy.
Also, congrats to them for
Yeah. You're talking about the Kraken, it is. Or the Stars.
Stars.
Sharks, yeah. But congrats to the Kraken on a good first playoff run.
Yeah.
Took a contender to 7 games in the second round.
You know,
Not bad.
Stars are playing the Knights. I mean, you don't have to tell me to root for Dallas.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially against the Knights, I'm rooting for the Stars all day.
Right.
I even got Dallas on my shirt right here.
Hey, look at that.
Not the Stars, but they have a star.
Yeah.
So.
True. I'm really rooting for Stars Canes in the final because that would guarantee that either Brent Burns or Joe Pavelski gets a cup.
I like the way you
My pick would be Pavelski, I think.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see Burnsy get a ring.
I like Burnsy.
Yeah. Both Sharks legends. Over to soccer. The Champions League semifinals wrapped up this week. Inter Milan, they won Leg 2, 1-0 over AC Milan, giving them a 3-0 aggregate victory, going to the Champions League final.
Oh my
wow, what a
God.
bank-in shot.
He hit a bank shot the last game, too.
Was that Reeves?
Yeah. Hey, the bank is officially open.
We got a 2-point game with a minute left. I'm going to hold this thought while we'll broadcast the game here real quick.
Oh, geez, don't let us do that.
Jokic in the post. Under a minute to go.
Jamal up top.
Pick and roll.
Heat check. And
oh, he gets the foul. Gets the foul.
Bummer. He'll make both of these probably.
All right, back in. We have on the other side, Manchester City won leg 2 4-0 over Sal's Real Madrid. That was a rough one for.
So this is what he was talking about. He was hurt.
He was hurt. Yeah, that was an ugly way to go out. They lost
So.
5-1 on aggregate in that round. The defending champs, 14-time champs and defending champs.
14?
They're like
The Yankees?
Yeah, like the Yanks. Yeah,
They're like the Canadians.
a little bit.
How many they got? Like 22?
Canadians have I think 24, but they won like a majority of those when there was only like 8 teams in the league. So yeah, Champions League final is going to be in Istanbul, Turkey, June 10th. Inter Milan versus Manchester City. I think Manchester City's going to win.
Okay.
They look pretty unstoppable right now.
I'll take your word for it.
Also, PSG, they got a chance to clinch their 9th League One title in the last 11 years this weekend. They need a win versus Auxerre and a draw or a loss by Lens versus Lorient. So we could be popping the champagne this weekend.
I always love drinking champagne.
We could also clinch with a draw and then a loss by Lens or a draw by Marseille, and a draw or worse by Marseille, who's playing Lille. And they will have the benefit of knowing the result of both those games before they kick theirs off. So it'll be nice.
Anthony Davis has to stop shooting threes.
Did you just take another one?
Yes, I just don't get it. I don't understand. Listen, you're top 75. I'm not really sure you're supposed to be, but you are. You know, they voted you in there. LeBron, obviously. But they don't shoot threes well. What are you doing? I know you got to get points.
Yeah.
And three's an easy way to get more points.
I think right now you can still play it as you know, with this much time left. You don't have to. You just take the best shot you can get.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I'm not going to start.
I'm not gonna start popping off yet.
Monty Williams and Doc Rivers joined the list of NBA head coaching firings. Can you believe that they both got fired?
I'm not shocked. You know, the way both those teams have ended their seasons each of the last 2 years in disappointing fashion. You know, that's just kind of the way the cookie has been crumbling for head coaches in the NBA lately.
Doc Rivers has now lost 10 Game 7s in his coaching career. That's 5 more than any other coach.
Damn. I mean, hey, he's given himself the opportunity in those games, so you got to give him credit for that. But
it's starting to seem like that 08 championship with the Celtics is saving his ass right now.
I was thinking about that,
and they did go again.
Right.
Like, was it the next? No,
2 years later.
Yeah. Because the Lakers beat the Magic.
Right.
In between.
Right.
It's saving his ass. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I mean, I don't want to say he's not a good coach, but if you took that off his resume, what does he have? He really doesn't have much.
I'd have to look at the numbers, but he'd probably still be a Hall of Fame coach.
You could potentially make that argument. All right, back to basketball. LeBron blocked at the rim. Wow, Lakers got a foul. Down 4 with 24 seconds left.
Monty Williams surprised. They both surprised me. They're both kind of. I mean, Doc Rivers is more proven than Monty Williams, but what do you think these teams, the Suns and the Sixers, need that's better?
Sometimes it's just maybe a different voice in the building. I mean, obviously they're both good coaches. I think that Monty is actually less surprising to me because he had his issues with DeAndre Ayton, who's a younger player that, you know, the Suns organization probably feels they need to have a coach be friends with that kind of guy.
George Karl.
Yeah. Is he working for the Nuggets front office?
I'm not sure, but he looks like he's.
He looks bad. Yeah.
Great that he's there, though.
Yeah.
Great that he's there. Sorry, what were you saying?
So I think the Monty Williams thing is not super surprising. He's kind of been on the hot seat a little bit the last couple of years. Doc similarly has been on the hot seat. Mm-hmm. Just because it seems like he can't get over the hump with this team. I don't know if it's him or just the team itself.
And maybe the Suns and the Sixers think that they can get a Mike Budenholzer or a Nick Nurse, coaches that have both won a championship.
I think Nick Nurse is an interesting candidate because he's a little. I mean, what I've read about him is he's a little unorthodox in his style of coaching, but
whatever two coaches get this job, you're in a good position. You're getting Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and then you're getting, Joel Embiid, James Harden probably won't be there, but you're getting the reigning MVP on your team. So that leaves the Bucks, the Pistons, the Raptors, the Suns, and the Sixers now with coaching vacancies.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good coaches out there, obviously with Nurse, like you said, being available. It's going to be an interesting carousel. It's going to be interesting to see how many of these teams hire coaches that just got fired, or if they go to kind of a newer, younger head coach.
Do we think the best option out of all these teams I just said, it's got to be either the Bucks or the Suns, right?
Yeah,
that you'd want to coach.
I think the Bucks is a pretty nice job, although they are a slightly older team outside of Giannis. But Sixers and Suns are great jobs too. I think the KD situation is interesting. Obviously, Chris Paul is getting old. He might be out of there. Yeah, I think all three of those are great jobs. Suns, Sixers, and Bucks. Raptors is an okay job. I'm a little surprised they got rid of Nick Nurse. I know we talked about it already.
I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, didn't seem to make sense, but maybe just philosophical differences. So we got a 3-point game. Denver's back in the line with 12 seconds to go. Who's shooting him, Jamal? Or is it
Jamal Murray.
He's been cooking today.
Yeah,
Let's
nice.
see what his line is like.
Made the first.
Yeah, he's going to make the second.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, it already told me. He's got a 37-piece tonight. Look at him go.
And also Anthony Davis with the most silent 40-piece you have.
I know, right?
Right, in game one.
He's got 18 tonight. Only 4 out of 15 from the field. Tough day for him.
Skip Bayless is going to have a field day after this game, I'm going to tell you.
An inevitable triple-double, of course, for Jokic tonight. 23, 17 rebounds, 12 assists. And that's going to be the ball game.
Wow. The Nuggets 2 games away. They did what they had to do.
I was thinking the same thing.
They won 2. The Lakers, obviously, they have to win both games, I think.
Yeah.
You have to.
You can't come back to Denver down 3-1. You're not going to get the job done. And, we've said it all postseason long, but this is kind of an older Laker. Well, at least LeBron's older. AD is a little brittle. You don't really trust his health. So you don't want a long series.
I said it last week, and it's just weird seeing LeBron James kind of be the beta in this series.
Yeah.
Or for his team. He's just not, and I get it, he's pushing 40 or whatever. Still in great shape for being how old he is.
I think it's kind of cool to watch him take on a different role and still be very effective.
Mm-hmm. He almost had a triple-double tonight, but he had 22 points for LeBron James.
That's pretty pedestrian.
Pretty pedestrian.
Yeah.
We're used to him in these kind of games put up 38.
But that's kind of how he is now. He's kind of like a 24 points, and then pick his spots to score.
Yep.
Look at that. 23 in the fourth for Jamal Murray.
Jeez.
What a game. How about that kid?
The San Antonio Spurs won the NBA draft lottery.
Woo-hoo!
They're presumably going to get Victor Wembanyama. I'll say it one more time. Victor Wembanyama, because I
Nailed it.
butchered it the first time. My apologies.
That was beautiful.
The rest of the top 5 are the Hornets at number 2, Blazers at number 3, Rockets at number 4, and Pistons at number 5. You got to feel for the Pistons because they had just as good a chance as the Spurs to get the 1 pick,
Yeah.
the first pick, and they got
Same with the Rockets, too. And both those teams aren't even in the top 3. Tough scene.
My dad just figured out who Victor Wembanyama is. I got home today and he's like, "Do you ever hear about this guy who's 7'4"? I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
I told him how I told you last year that I wanted the Kings to tank for this guy.
Right.
And of course, I think the biggest irony is the Kings had the best season they've had since 2002.
Yeah.
Or 2006.
Yeah.
And they aren't anywhere close to the number 1 pick, which is fine.
I think it's kind of interesting that both basketball and hockey have, generational talents as coming out as potential top pick
And this
in the
kid,
same year.
This kid is just you look at him, he's a monster.
He's sick. And I don't know if you've watched any of those highlights of him handling the ball and taking fadeaway jumpers, looking like Kevin Durant pretty much.
This to me means Greg Popovich is going to coach for at least the next 5 years.
Well, I kind of wonder about that. It's is he really going to stay invested just because of this guy?
He has to.
I mean,
you got. He's going to be there for at least 2 more years.
Obviously, it's enticing, but I just
you have to. If anything, this gives him new life. Like, dude, we had this generational guy. It probably gives him flashbacks of Tim Duncan when they drafted him.
right.
You know, tall. For some reason, the Spurs love the tall guys. You know, David Robinson,
Right.
Tim Duncan, and then now Big Vic, as people like to call him.
I saw some interesting conversation. It was with Chris Broussard saying how the expectations for this guy he feels that they should be. If he's not like one of the 10 best players of all time, it's a disappointment.
He was saying if he ends up being in his career either Anthony Davis or a Hakeem Olajuwon,
That's
a disappointment.
right. I think that's crazy. I mean,
Hakeem Olajuwon's better than Anthony Davis. There's no question.
oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
if he turned into Anthony Davis, a little bit of a disappointment. But Hakeem Olajuwon's one of the greatest players, probably top 15 players of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you could expect him to be a top 25 for sure because of the way that, most people judge NBA players is about championships, right?
Yeah.
And I just can't expect someone to win championships because how do you know that this guy's going to get set up with the teammates that are going to help him get there? Because you can't do it by yourself. No one's really ever done it.
And I'll even one up you. Did you hear what Adrian Wojnarowski said about Wembanyama? He said that he might be the best prospect in the history of team sports.
Oh, yeah. I think I did hear that. That is pretty wild.
That's an unbelievable quote.
I mean, he looks unreal. I mean, he's you can't compare him to anyone. You really can't because he's
like, I mean, it's going to sound ridiculous for me to even say this, but I was going to say unicorn, and when I think of unicorn in the NBA, I think of Kristaps Porzingis.
right.
And they kind of have the same build. He's clearly taller than Kristaps.
And way more coordinated than Kristaps. Yeah. Porzingis.
You know,
And he's a decent player, but he's just not anything special.
Because we weren't old enough to remember the hype of LeBron James.
No, not really. I mean, we hear about it.
The dude was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, probably I think as a sophomore in high school,
It's crazy.
with the words, I think, the chosen one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a little bit of expectations.
Right.
And to think that LeBron James exceeded those expectations. 4 championships, all-time leading scorer. I don't think if you would have told anybody back then that this was going to be
Yeah.
his future, and 4 MVPs on top of that, people would have said, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, that would be unfair expectations.
And that's what Nick Wright said. Nick Wright said, he's destined for failure if we're putting this kind of...
Exactly. I think it's kind of fucked, honestly.
And I just hope he doesn't be one of these, or become one of these tall players that get drafted high that gets hurt.
Yeah.
Because guys that are tall have knee and ankle issues.
Especially being he's not just a tall guy. He's 7'4", or whatever they listen.
He's slender.
Yeah.
The only person I can compare him to is probably Kevin Durant.
Yeah, with like another 5 inches.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be fun to see him next year. I don't know if he'll make the Spurs a playoff contender.
I find it interesting because they don't really have much going for them right now. They got, because Devin Vassell is a decent little player. Keldon Johnson.
I couldn't tell you anybody else.
Those are like really the only 2 guys I know on the team. But I think it makes their free agency interesting because, hey, this kid, I think everyone knows who this kid is in the NBA.
Yeah.
So I think it could be interesting to see what they do in the offseason.
Hear me out. Just hear me out. The Spurs don't do that great. They draft Bronny next year, and LeBron comes to the Spurs.
That would be fucking funny.
Just do you feel me on that a little bit? Do you feel me?
That would be interesting. Who knows if Bronny's even going to be that good?
I know, but it's just. I feel like any team that drafts Bronny, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, "Well, his dad might come here too."
Right.
Because he wants to play. Because everyone knows that LeBron wants to play with his son. Doesn't mean his son wants to play with him like LeBron even said.
Yeah.
But if you draft this kid, one of the greatest players of all time, older,
Right.
it's probably going to be coming along too.
Right.
Which, at the very least, for the franchise, is going to bring in the dollars.
I don't know about you, but I'm a little concerned that somehow his draft placement is going to be manipulated by the James family. Whether he is a top prospect or not,
I think it will too.
I think it's. I don't like that. I think
it's great marketing by LeBron James. He's probably not even thinking about that, but even without him thinking about it, it's still going to happen.
Right. I think it's just kind of
Him saying that alone is making people want to draft him higher than he probably should be.
probably. But what if? But the thing is, like, he's probably going to do. LeBron could do something in the realm of saying, well, if you draft him higher than you would have, but I'm not going to come. Like, is that even worth it for you?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be kind of a gross scenario next year, but we'll see.
Like you said last week about the dude who was getting drafted number 1 for the NHL draft, and you talk about the ticket sales. I wonder what the ticket sales are going to be.
Oh, I know.
I wonder where they are right now for the Spurs, and they haven't even technically drafted him yet.
Right.
He's going to go number 1, but technically he's not there yet. So I would love to know what the sales are as of right now for the San Antonio Spurs.
Right. I got to think that they had a really great following, obviously, in the Duncan era.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much it's dropped off since then, though.
Probably a little, but this brings it right back up.
I'm curious, like, if it's going to be like how the Chicago thing went with the Blackhawks, or if it's going to be to a lesser extent because they still had that following, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. John Morant, this guy he likes his guns. I don't really get it. He's suspended again by the Grizzlies. Another social media post showing him with a gun. Expected to be handed a harsher suspension by the NBA this time.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. What are we doing here?
I even saw today that I think on the Nike website you can't buy his shoes right now.
Oh, is that right?
I saw
That they
that.
suspended his sales. Interesting. See if we can't get this overtime hockey game on. Sorry.
John Morant, he has, I'd like to imagine, he has so many kids looking up to him right now. Or just in general. I mean, this doesn't help. But you know how many kids would love to be John Morant?
Oh, for sure.
And, play in the NBA like he's done and all this stuff. I just think, I wish he would put that in consideration. Easy for me to say because I'm actually older than John Morant. Both of us are.
All right.
John Morant's probably, what, 23, maybe,
Yeah.
24?
Something like that.
I've heard a lot about, I wish he had a better support system, and I wish his friends, or, whatever they are, maybe they're just trying to get the cash, or,
Right.
just trying to, leech on, would be like, dude, you can't be doing this.
Right.
And also, it is his First Amendment right, depending on where he's at with a gun. But the way he's showing it off,
It looks bad.
most people who say that guns are my First Amendment right, you don't see them flashing their guns on IG Live.
No.
You don't. You don't.
No.
You know what I mean? And he technically is a grown ass man, and he can do what he wants.
Yeah.
But it's just, you got to know you are a budding superstar, and he is a superstar.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's not budding. He is a superstar.
Yeah.
I just wish he had the thoughts in his mind to know that I can't be doing this.
He's definitely got a clouded brain right now. He's not thinking straight.
It's weird. I've heard that he grew up not in in the streets or anything like that.
Yeah.
So maybe he wishes he was that. Maybe that's what he wants to be, that kind of.
I kind of think that
Like he's trying to get street cred.
yeah,
Even though he didn't grow up that way. He grew up in a great household. His dad's always at his games.
right.
I think I would assume his parents were together. I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
He clearly has somewhat of a support system because his dad is courtside watching every home game. He's probably there. He's probably at every game he plays.
it seems like he is. He's always getting put on camera.
He's like LeVar Ball, but he doesn't talk.
He's like LeVar Ball, but he's not an idiot.
So, John Morant, I would just figure it out, man.
Yeah.
You got talent. You got more talent than a lot of people do, and
I just don't see. I don't understand why he thinks he's got to he's got it made. Like, why does he got to act like a gangster? It's just not necessary.
it kind of goes. I've heard this term before, and it's, rappers want to be ball players and ball players want to be rappers.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
I suppose John Morant would figure it out, and I think he will. And hopefully, and it sucks that it has to come to this. But maybe a harsher suspension will help. I think this might be good by the NBA to do this for him.
I think they got to drop like a 25 game around him or something like that.
And maybe Nike will cut his shit off for good. And
I could see that.
and-
yeah.
If his dad is such a good supporter, maybe he has done this. Clearly, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Right.
But if I'm his dad, I'm busting his ass, being like, what are you doing? You are ruining your chances at everything right now. You want to give it up to act hard.
Yeah.
Because that's something in the streets that could get you killed.
Yeah.
Like, people see you flashing guns, and people that really flash guns are going to want to flash guns with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think those kind of guys know who he is, and they're like, this guy ain't a real fucking gangster.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
No, he ain't. He's not with it. You know what I mean?
Like, he doesn't even want a piece of this. So stop acting like it.
Yeah, because when shit really hits the fan, let me tell you, John Morant is going to his mansion.
Right.
You know what I mean? He ain't coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, figure it out.
Okay, PGA Championship got underway today. I believe, last I checked, Bryson DeChambeau was at the top of the leaderboard. I'm going to double check that.
That name, John Rahm.
John Rahm. And he's Spanish.
Is he?
Yeah. Doesn't sound like a Spanish guy at all, but he is Spanish. But yeah, John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, the big favorites. You know, this is the PGA Championship, right? And, you know, they had a little beef with the new LIV tournament. Yet they invited all the LIV players to play in this tournament. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Where's our leaderboard? Of course, it's not going to be easy to find. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, we don't talk about golf for shit on this show.
I kind of just washed over the fact that you put golf in there. You said PGA. I'm like, wait, we got PGA on there? Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe DeChambeau is still leading.
You know who appreciates PGA talk?
Dylan
Padilla. Dylan Padilla. Mm-hmm. Does he listen to us? Absolutely not.
No.
But it's okay.
Here's a funny one. The Arlington Renegades. I totally botched that.
Try it again.
The Arlington Renegades.
There you go.
2023 XFL champions.
I am pissed because I was gonna mention this kind of.
Yeah.
But you did. We're on the same wavelength.
Okay. Good. Hey.
Yeah.
They upset the 9-1 DC Defenders in the championship game, 35-26. They snuck into the playoffs with a 4-6 record. How do you feel about that? I know there's only 8 teams, but still.
I don't know the playoff system, so I can't really talk shit. But it just doesn't sound right.
So there's 2 divisions of 4 teams. The top 2 teams in each division go to the division championship games.
So how does a 4-6 team make it in?
Because they happen to finish in second place.
Wow.
And they made it into the playoffs over either a 6-4 or 7-3 team from the other division.
Did you know Bob Stoops was the head coach
of Arlington?
Yes.
I knew he was involved. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too.
I saw a picture on like Sports Center, and it was a picture of him winning the championship at Oklahoma, whenever that was, and then below is him holding the XFL trophy.
That's pretty good.
I sent a picture of Nick, and I forgot what I said, but he was like something like "winners win." You know what I mean?
Winners win.
No, I'll find out. He didn't say that. He's not that funny. He said he's a champ.
He was a champ.
I sent him the picture
Won.
I sent him the picture I was just talking about. I said, "This is a little cringy." He said he's a champ. Hey, and he's not wrong. He is a champ.
This is a little cringy. He's a champ. That's pretty good. Good old XFL.
Did you? I didn't watch one full game of the XFL.
No, it's hard to watch. It's not the same quality. You can't fool me. You can fool some people, but you can't fool me. I know Nick went to an XFL game this year.
He did.
He
went to the Roughnecks, I think.
Yeah, the Houston, which is who the Renegades beat in the South Division Championship.
Ooh, so Nick's kind of hurt right now.
Yeah, big Houston Roughnecks fan.
Do you think if Bob Stoops was the head coach of the Houston Roughnecks, Nick would actually have some
some skin,
some skin in the game? Thank you.
He
would a little bit.
He might do it sarcastically.
Oh, he went to a game even without it.
True. What did he say? He's like, that was the most ratchet sporting event I've ever been to.
Yeah, that's what he told me. Oh, shit.
Good stuff.
Oh, man, that was good.
Woo-wee.
What's the score of the Warriors game right now? Oh, that's right. I thought you were actually laughing for a minute. No, in all seriousness, the Warriors lost Game 6 to the Lakers. They won 122-101. LeBron with a vintage game, 39-9. Curry, of course, put up 32.
Tough shooting night for the Warriors, though.
4 for 14 for Curry on the 3-point line, or 3-pointer. Klay Thompson, 8 points. Game 6, Klay. Hey, you might have to put that to rest.
Where was he? His clock was not on.
You might have to put that to rest.
Yeah. After that,
3 for 19 field goals. That's
this showing makes me think that he was buying into the Game 6 Clay thing and just thought he could take any shot.
I wonder if a lot of him not playing well in this series specifically is the Laker connection a little bit. Because his dad won, I think, 2 championships with the Lakers with Showtime.
He grew up a fan.
He grew up a fan. I think he really wanted it. I mean, obviously he wants it, but I think this particular series, he wanted to make it happen.
He may have put a little extra pressure on himself.
He wanted to be the, I won't say Robin, but he wanted to be the Batman. You know,
Yeah.
He wanted to save the day. Like, you know what, you should have drafted me, or all that kind of stuff.
He probably wanted to be able to say, I went and played my childhood favorite team and I beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
3-point shooting for the game. Your Warriors actually died by the 3, which rarely happens, it seems. 13 for 48. Ouch. The Lakers went 13 for 26. That's good.
See, here, I mean, I don't even think about the percentages. I think about the makes. If the Lakers are matching the Warriors in threes, that's not a good thing because the Lakers do pretty much everything else better than the Warriors.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I knew this game was over when Austin Reeves hit that half court.
I kind of felt that too.
That half court shot, I'm like, this game's done.
It kind of just is like, that goes in, that feels like everything's going the Lakers' way.
Exactly.
Yep.
It was a hell of a shot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Steph Curry saw that and he was like,
Yeah.
I've done that a couple times.
Right.
I know how that is.
Right.
I know how demoralizing that is for the team. Free throw attempts through the whole series, or was that just Game 6?
So Game 6, yeah, it was 42 attempts for the Lakers and 14 for the Warriors.
Which was a trend throughout the whole series.
It was, yeah. I mean, they this next stat, they doubled their free throw attempts in the whole series. The Lakers did 160 to 80.
In the Lakers' defense, because, you know, everyone likes to talk about the script writers, the Warriors did foul a lot all throughout the season.
Oh, nothing about this should have been unexpected.
Okay.
We knew it going in. I know people, yeah, you're right. People do want to talk that way. Just fucking stupid. But, no.
Specifically, Warrior fans talking about it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously, any team would really talk about it.
Right.
I'll say that.
Right. But, yeah, and I don't think that should have come as a huge surprise. Warriors shot close to the least free throws, I believe, in the league, if not the least. Yeah. And Lakers were number 1.
Anthony Davis had 21 points a game, 14 rebounds a game,
nice
58% field goal percentage, 13 blocks, and 9 steals. Both led the team. That's in Game 6.
That was for the whole series.
Oh, okay.
He was the difference maker. I thought his ability on the offensive end, you know, pretty much eliminated Looney's effectiveness. And then defensively, he was just a stopper.
No. You're telling me, so Anthony Davis for the series, for sure, averaged 21 points and 14 rebounds.
Yeah.
He did not average 13 blocks and 9 steals.
No, he had 13 blocks total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
That's
No.
That's like Hakeem Olajuwon numbers right there. Your boy Jordan Poole, 8 points a game, 34% field goal percentage.
Tough scene for Jordan.
Might be on the trade block.
Yeah. It's just it's so weird that, and we'll talk about it here in a second, but how he went from being you couldn't convince me that he wasn't a huge factor in the finals run last year, and then how much of a terrible he was this year.
If you don't have Jordan Poole, you guys might not win the championship last year.
I think they can certainly do not. Yeah. So, the Florida did put the puck in the net, but it looks like a little goalie interference, which looks valid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we're going to second overtime, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Jonathan Kuminga only played 25 minutes in this whole series, and he's also looking to move somewhere else because he is tired of his role with the Warriors.
Yeah, he's been a little more candid about his playing time. I don't think he for sure wants out of there, but he definitely wasn't happy about it, which makes sense.
It's just Jonathan Kuminga, you gotta earn it a little bit. You're playing below 3 Hall of Famers. I know they're on the later end of their careers, but you're not gonna get in a better situation to win better than what you are in right now.
Right.
Debatably.
I think he probably just feels a little bit played because of how much opportunity he got during the regular season, and then he makes one or two mistakes in the playoffs, and boom, minutes cut, like you're benched, essentially. So I feel his pain a little bit. I think Warriors fans are a little frustrated too because it just seems confusing that he's not getting the opportunity to grow as a player. Such a young guy, he's only 20 years old.
So now the futures of also Bob Myers, the GM, Draymond Green, obviously a Hall of Famer, and Jordan Poole are up in the air.
Right.
So my question to you is the dynasty on the verge of being over?
Well, I mean, you could say it's on the verge for sure. I know a lot of people want to say, "Oh yeah, it's definitely over right now." I don't think that's totally fair. First things first, they got to figure out who's going to be the GM this year, or president of basketball operations.
And you want it to be Bob Myers?
Oh, of course, yeah. Bob's been a huge factor in putting this whole thing together. I do think though that he was heavily influenced by the presence of the logo. What's his name? Jerry West. Sorry.
Oh, because I think he might want.
He went over to the Clippers a few years ago. Maybe
But I think Jerry West might want Bob Myers to go to the Clippers.
Oh, possibly. I don't know if that's being talked about. It sounds like Bob maybe. Well, they're throwing all kinds of things around. Whether it's contract, whether it's him wanting to relieve himself of the stress of being, the head man of a basketball
I
operation.
imagine it's stressful.
Yeah. Maybe he just needs a break, a breather, whatever it is. No one really knows right now. There's also talk that he could be seeking a different job with that maybe even offers more money.
Who doesn't like more money?
Yeah. So yeah, I think they just need to figure that out, and then whoever does step into that role, whether it's him or not, they definitely need to look at Jordan Poole's situation. I know his contract kicks in this coming season, which is going to be interesting to try and move. Draymond Green, I think Steve Kerr said it well that the Warriors going forward will not be a championship contender without Draymond Green. I don't really know how you improve on him, especially considering that he's been in the system for 10 years now or so.
What I'm going to say about Jordan Poole is what I've said before about Matt Stafford is that, yeah, you wish he would be better for a longer amount of time.
Yeah.
But you got a championship out of his play. So I don't think it's a total loss whether he's on the team or not next year. I mean, from a money standpoint, yeah, I'm talking just from the team.
Yeah.
He did what he had to do for you guys at a point, and it helped you win a championship. So can you really be that disappointed about this whole situation right now?
I think it's not. Well, of course, it's not what anyone wanted as a Warriors fan or in the Warriors organization. But I think you got to be willing to explore the options here. I think he got his bag, which is fine. I don't really blame the Warriors for giving it to him. Maybe it was premature, but I think you got to see what you can get for him. I honestly, I think the Warriors should consider just getting anything for him just to get him out of there. I think over the course of the season, just the whole Draymond and Poole thing, it weighed on the team as a collective.
I agree. And don't get it twisted. I hope the dynasty is over. Being petty.
I know you do.
So I have a couple notes that I want to say about this series and the Warriors. First time in the Kerr era that the Warriors have lost a playoff series in the Western Conference. He is now 19-1. Stellar record.
That's unbelievable.
Stellar record. The Warriors failed to win a road game for the first time in their last 29 playoff series.
Also crazy.
Which is not, obviously some of it's before the Kerr era too.
Right.
Still, that might be a record that might not ever be touched again. LeBron James, I love talking about that guy, has now won 41 playoff series, the most ever in NBA history. Doesn't look very good in the NBA Finals department, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
And two questions I got for you, or one question. Does this loss hurt because it was to LeBron James? Given what happened in 2016.
I mean, it's like if you can beat LeBron, that always feels good. I don't think about him that much. I think more about I don't really like losing to the Lakers. I think that's worse than LeBron itself.
Okay.
Or himself.
Gotcha.
Maybe other people feel differently. I don't know. I don't really have any animosity towards LeBron.
Okay. I appreciate that. Also, sorry, Steph Curry, your 50-point record in Game 7s lasted about 2 weeks.
It's gone.
Because Jason Tatum, which we will get to in a moment, I'm sure,
Yes.
scored 51 against the Sixers in their Game 7 matchup. So, sorry, Steph, it's been a bad couple games for you, but it's not a bad life. It's not a bad life.
Oh no, he's living nice.
He's nice.
Yeah, we'll see. See what the Warriors do. I think they have to make some bench upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
I think Otto Porter was a bigger loss than most people would think.
Yeah.
And like Wiggins not being there for a lot of the season was weird. I think they're going to need a nice contribution from him going forward. And let's run it back. See what happens.
Good luck.
I just don't see any what else would you do? Like you're not going to just get rid of Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and think that
No,
you're going to be a better team, right?
You got to run it back. Why not? Why not?
I just don't like. If you make moves, because Steph Curry still has, I think probably I'll say 2 more years. Passively, I'll say 2 more years.
I'd say all those guys together can have a good 2 years together as a core.
I think that's possible.
A good 2 more years as a core. I think that's fair.
Will I be shocked if they don't win another championship? No. I think obviously they regressed this year as a group, not maybe them 3 together, but the whole team. So there's gonna have to be some adjustments made to the roster, but I think
as long as you have Kerr and Curry, you're gonna have a chance. In my opinion.
I agree.
In my opinion. As long as you have those 2 guys on the same team together.
You're at least gonna have something interesting.
Exactly.
At the very least.
Yeah. You'll be a perennial playoff team. It might not be what you're used to because you're not even used to this early of an exit.
Right.
But you'll be in the conversation. Everyone will say, they got that guy. It's almost kind of like Tom Brady. Like, oh, you got him, you got a chance.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Let's move on to the Sixers, who got eliminated by the Celtics in Game 7 on Sunday. 112-88. Jason Tatum, like you just mentioned, 51 points, new Game 7 record. He just absolutely went off. I'm concerned about the Sixers and what we saw. And maybe it's not that shocking, but you just would have thought that the prior experience that this team has gotten in the playoffs, maybe something would have changed.
How long does a process have to happen for it actually happen?
I know, right?
How long is the process going to go for?
It's alarming at this rate.
Joel Embiid is the only NBA MVP to not make the conference finals in his career. The Sixers have a longer conference finals drought than the Sacramento Kings. Put that into perspective. I didn't even realize that until I read it a few days ago.
I'll say that when after Allen Iverson left the Sixers, growing up, we never saw the Sixers, they were never a good team.
I mean, even when they had Andre Iguodala, they were all right.
But even
Kyle Korver,
all right is at best.
Or when dude from Syracuse won Rookie of the Year for him.
Michael Carter Williams. But even Embiid was already there, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think he might have been. Yeah.
Or maybe he was there but wasn't playing. Because remember he was
might
drafted.
have been that year. Yeah, they might have got drafted the same year. Michael Carter Williams.
MCW.
Yeah, he's not in the NBA anymore.
No, he's not.
I just I look at these numbers. Embiid, 5 out of 18 from the field, 15 points, 8 boards in a winner-take-all game. Harden 3 for 11, 9 points in a winner-take-all game, and they were in this game in the first half. I mean, they led by 6 at the first, trailed by 3 at half, and then just got absolutely obliterated in the third quarter.
Did you watch any of this game?
I was kind of tuning in, but I didn't really sit down and watch it. No.
I think I watched a little bit of it. Mother's Day was kind of hard.
Yeah, it was hard.
I was at my grandma's house, and the whole time I was like, I want to watch it, but I'm going to let my grandma on Mother's Day watch Food Network instead. And then proceed to watch American Idol.
Yeah.
I'm not going to... She would have been fine with it, but I'm not going to be like, hey, can we throw on some sports on your day?
All right. I mean, I think it would have been one thing for you to ask, hey, can we watch the final couple minutes if it was close?
But it wasn't.
But it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know they were on the road, but they did have the chance to close it out in Game 6 at home, and they failed to do that.
Shout out to the Celtics for winning 2 straight to win the series.
They did that against Milwaukee last year, right? I believe so.
I can't remember, but I'll take your word for
I
it.
think they did. And they did it against the Sixers this year. I don't know. We're going to talk about the Celtics when we get to their series with the Heat, but I don't know what to think about that team either.
Well, after yesterday, I don't know either.
Yeah.
You lose to the Heat on the parquet floor.
Right.
We'll get to it, but
Yeah.
I did not give the Heat any kind of a chance
No.
in that game yesterday.
Yeah.
That's why they gotta play the games.
Right. Harden in the final 2 games combined 22 points, 1 for 11 from distance. He reverted back to old James Harden.
It's just, how could somebody in the playoffs be consistently so bad for being so... I'll say he's been great in his career.
Yeah. Hall of Famer.
Top 75
Yeah. But he is this guy in big games.
in the playoffs.
Because we saw him have a great game 1. He just went for it, but that's game 1.
You know what I would love to do? This is a total nerd thing to say, but I would love to watch the 2012 finals. Or 20...
Oh, just to kind of... just
2013? 2012.
12.
And then,
12.
Yeah, okay. I'd love to see what his... Obviously, he came off the bench, 6-man. But I want to see what his game was like then. 'Cause I watched the series, but I don't remember how he played. Because that hardened to what he is, clearly on the Rockets and then now. You know what I mean? Just to see what he was like.
Right. He definitely... totally different player. I from what I can remember. Like, he wasn't just like the ball hog dribble between your legs 14 times, see what happens.
Well, he didn't have to then because he had
right.
2
And he was coming off the bench.
He had 2 more alphas.
He was pretty much strictly a bench player in OKC.
I bet you he won the 6-man of the year that year.
I would believe that.
He's like the second player to ever win 6-man and MVP in the career. Behind, can you guess who?
6-man and MVP in their career? Should I know this person?
You know the person, yes.
Give me the era.
70s, 80s.
Bill Walton.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Also, Embiid, only 42% from the field for the series. That's just not good enough. It's not good enough.
MVP.
Yeah.
That's not MVP numbers.
No. And you think, did you hear his little press conference thing that people were ragging on him for?
He said it's got to be more than just me and James.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
That's, for those performances, and especially in that final game, that's a horrible look.
I know you're looking at the stat sheet, bro. It's right there on the paper.
You know you only made 5 shots in this game. When you need to make 10, at least. That's just not good enough. I don't understand, and I think it's this whole thing is a big reason why Doc is not coming back.
Yeah.
It's not his fault, but necessarily. Maybe it is. I don't know if you saw James Harden's little snappy interview about the question about his relationship with Doc, but this is before he got fired, and he's like, "Yeah, no, we're fine."
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was. I thought that was kind of interesting. He kind of had a little smug look on his face, so maybe it wasn't fine. I don't know.
So you have 2 questions right here, essentially 2 questions.
Yeah.
That I don't give a fuck about. Future James Harden, I don't care.
Well,
It's not going to matter where he goes.
it's.
I keep hearing he wants to go back to Houston.
I know. Well, I think the biggest question is, should the Sixers move off of James Harden right now?
I think he wants to move off. I don't even think he...
Even if he wanted to still be there, or he was involved, could be potentially involved in the head coach.
It's hard because I do think you want to be relevant. Even if you know you're not going to win a championship, but you're going to be in that conversation, I think that's good enough for most fans.
I can kind of agree with that.
If I'm the Sixers, if I had the option, and this is going to sound nuts, I'd probably just keep James Harden. Because, he's going to help you win some games. He's going to put people in the stands. You might as well just keep him if you can.
I think you go fishing at the very least, but I think it's time to let Tyrese Maxey be the guy as far as the ball handling duties and that second option. I think Harden's gonna be 34 next year. He's definitely not getting any better. He's not in the same conversation of Steph Curry, where he's ageless. It seems like, or even LeBron. LeBron's different.
And you ask me what the Sixers need. They need Steph Curry.
Right.
That's what they need. They just, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for the Sixers. It almost seems like they're in that cursed category.
A little bit. I mean, for sure, Embiid needs to play better. But that's not even a question. Embiid needs to play better in big games.
He needs to play better at the right time.
Yeah, he needs to play better in big games.
Yes, exactly.
Harden, I think he needs to go. I think they should kind of just take what they can get for him. I think if you were able to maybe get some role players for him from whoever wants him, I think that would be more beneficial, and then you kind of let Tyrese Maxey loose a little bit and see what he can do with Embiid. Because Embiid really, I think he's like 29 now. He's not like super young. He's right in his prime. So you gotta maximize your opportunity.
I heard Nick Wright say that the Spurs should go for Chris Paul for Big Vic. It's a very much win now scenario, but maybe the Sixers should try to go Chris Paul. It's not a long-term thing, but fuck, if you can get it right now, try that.
I think it depends on how effective you still find Chris Paul.
Do you think he's more effective than Harden?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think
Maybe not from an offensive standpoint.
I think
Even though I think Chris Paul can dish it still, but when it's scoring, he's not James Harden.
I think though, to your point, that Chris Paul could play his role maybe more effectively than James Harden plays his current role with the Sixers, but I don't think that you'd be a better team just swapping those guys one for one.
Because we know James Harden, when he's healthy, he can't play well in the playoffs.
No, he has
And
not
Chris
shown
Paul,
it.
we know Chris Paul has an issue with staying healthy, but when he is in there, he plays pretty well.
Yeah, no doubt. But Chris Paul is also getting pretty damn old. He's going to be 40 in a couple of years.
Yeah. I don't know. Switch it up. Who's the GM for the Sixers? The dude who loves Harden.
Yeah, Daryl Morey.
Dude,
He's not going to get rid of Harden. That's the only problem here.
yeah,
At least with our theories.
that's what's hard.
All right, I gotta cut that. Ooh.
Nice.
Waited for the mic to be turned off for that.
Yeah. What?
Just making sure we're all locked in.
Making sure we're actually.
Yeah, watch we did that. Didn't catch any audio.
That would be depressing.
That would be so whack.
I bet okay, where the old fashions at? I need to drink myself to sleep. Although starting over again at this point would be fun.
well lubricated.
Yeah.
Starting over.
What would we do?
I don't even know.
So we would start over. We'd be doing this until 10 o'clock.
I'd probably stop and tell you to come over tomorrow.
Yeah. That's more.
Just
fair.
rewrite this fucking outline. Anyways, so let's review our NBA playoff picks.
Yes.
So I went back and tallied up how well we've done in the picks.
I'm not good at all.
And I also remember we talked about how we should maybe have a little different point system, like 1 point for getting the team right and 1 point for getting the games.
Did you do that?
I did that.
Okay.
I have that here for us. You did not do very well in the last round.
Thanks.
I definitely kicked your ass. I did really well.
7-1.
I got all 4 winners right, and I got 3 of the series length right.
Yeah, you did.
And then first round we were neck and neck. I had 8 points. You had 7 points. So overall, it's 15-8 going into the conference finals.
You?
Yes. Sorry.
Damn. I got no shot.
Pretty much.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. No need for
I got you last year. You got me this year.
Yeah.
It's fair.
We actually both did not do really great in the first round. We both got.
I have my stuff right here.
You got 6 of the winners out of the 8 right. I only got 5. But we didn't do very well in the games.
No.
I got 3 of the games. You got 1. Conference finals. We obviously did our picks.
We text each other.
Yeah, via text.
Before any series started.
Correct.
I picked the Nuggets over the Lakers in 7. I mean, it might be even sooner than that.
Could be. Yeah.
And I picked the Celtics over the Heat in 6. Last night's game makes me feel like it's not going to happen, but still,
I'm not
many more games.
not ready to totally buy into the Heat yet, but that is a interesting win. I took the Celtics in 7, and I took the Lakers in 6, which they're gonna have to win 4 straight for me to be right on that one.
I don't see that.
I know. It's funny though, because after Game 1, I felt like they actually had some momentum coming out of that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people did, but they did not really carry that over to tonight. So what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, who's your championship favorite right now? Since we usually do this around this time, since we're not doing contender rankings anymore.
Championship favorite right now. Sounds crazy, but I'm going Denver Nuggets.
I love you for that. About time you jumped on board.
What about you?
Well, of course I didn't pick the Nuggets, but I think I'm gonna say Nuggets. I think the Celtics would be my second choice still. even though
My
they lost
final
game 1.
prediction as of right now would still be Nuggets.
Nuggets Celtics, yeah. I think Nuggets should be the favorite, but we'll see. I mean, if the Lakers win the next 2 games at home, could have a different opinion.
Different story.
Yeah.
The Lakers to me, they have to win both.
Yes, I 100%.
You don't want to be 3-1 and they got swept.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah.
You don't want to go 3-1 going back to that elevation in Denver, which I always think matters.
yeah.
They're all professional athletes, but there's one thing when you're the Nuggets and you train in that kind of elevation,
Right.
and then you're here in LA drinking margaritas on the weekends. You know what I mean?
Before we talk Lakers Nuggets, let's just refresh. We got Panthers and Hurricanes. Overtime number 2 in game 1 here.
Look at that shot differential. 42-27
Yeah,
Carolina.
That's a pretty big gap, yeah.
Wow.
Carolina's peppering it. 12 minutes in, or 8 minutes into the second overtime here. Ooh, that thing was going through some traffic. All right, so Lakers Nuggets. Let's talk game 1. Nuggets won 132-126. They led by 18 at half though, and Lakers cut that lead to 3 in the final minutes. LeBron took that shot to try and tie it with about 45 seconds left.
Shocker! A brick 3, building houses over here. What do you?
Like we were mentioning, yeah.
You want to be that guy, and does he deserve the reputation? He has a reputation of trying to shoot that shot, of course.
Yeah.
But it's just not his game. It's never really been his game, and I don't know. He wants to be Steph Curry, and he's not.
I just don't think
Go to the hole.
Yeah.
I know you need more than 2, but go to the hole.
I think at his age, late in games, I don't feel like he's gonna have the legs for that shot. Like
No.
that's just a kind of a safe, with 45 seconds left, you don't have to shoot a 3 by any means when you're down 3.
No.
Not at all. Like it's too early for that. Yeah, I don't like it. He does. You're right. He does it a lot, and he especially this postseason, he's been bricking a lot of 3s.
Jeez.
Huge game from Jokic.
Dude, he's putting up 2K numbers right now, or at least in the last game.
Yeah, 34 points, 21 rebounds, 14 assists. Nuggets played pretty much a flawless first half.
Nikola Jokic is going to average a triple-double in a season soon. It just seems like every game he gets a triple-double.
He basically did it this year. I mean, he was like a half of an assist short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to do it the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I would say bold prediction, which you haven't done in a while, but there's no booze, and it's not even that bold anyway.
No.
Because he's close.
Yeah. Also, a big game from Jamal Murray, which he had a big game tonight as well. 31 points a couple of days ago. Like you said, AD, the quietest 40-point, 10-rebound game, maybe ever. I think he did do a lot of his work in the second half, trying to mount that comeback. LeBron, nice game.
26, 12, and 9. That's pretty much a vintage LeBron game.
That's LeBron.
Just like tonight's game.
Yeah.
Or no, excuse me, the game against the Warriors.
Yes, correct.
Well, and tonight. I mean, he had
Yeah.
22,
Yeah.
whatever I said.
Just wasn't quite enough. I mean, this was not much of a game early on, and of course it really came down to the wire at the end. Denver owned the offensive glass, 15 offensive rebounds.
Anthony Davis, and I know Jokic is great. 21 rebounds, monster.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis cannot just have 10 rebounds.
I agree with you.
He can't.
I agree.
He can't. You tell me this dude's getting punked by Kevon Looney and actually beat him in a series. And he doesn't feel like I can do anything.
Yeah.
And obviously Nikola Jokic above and beyond better than Kevon Looney.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not. They're not.
If just Anthony Davis, I really wish he had that dog in him. It doesn't seem like he does.
It's not very consistent. Like there are games where he goes out there and you can clearly see that he's the best player.
What?
He just didn't do enough.
Watching Anthony Davis play basketball is like watching Aaron Rodgers play football. It's almost like they'd rather be doing something else.
a little bit, yeah.
Am I wrong?
Especially when it comes to crunch time, yeah.
AD he better have it in LA. They have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
I think they will win both games in LA.
Do you?
Not because
I think that's a bold prediction. I wish we had some booze. I won't make you do it. That's a bold prediction. I don't think so. I don't think Lakers will win too.
Ooh. I
don't.
Well, think about this though. The Nuggets went to Phoenix after winning the first 2 games at home. Yeah. Lost both. I don't think it's that crazy.
I think the Lakers will win Game 3. I think they'll lose Game 4.
We'll see.
And by this time next week, we will know. We will know.
So yeah, 2-0 Denver going back to LA. Should be fun. I don't want the Lakers to win. I just think they are.
So I'm kind of pissed because I always mention I listen to The Odd Couple, Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, and I was gonna say this today between me and you. And Rob Parker said it earlier today. He thinks that LeBron James is better off losing in the conference finals and losing in the finals.
Again.
And I agree with him 100%. I was going to say that. I think LeBron James, if he's going to lose, do it in this series because people are going to forget about it. When you lose in the finals, people remember.
I know, it's so weird how that is.
You know what? I think I completely agree with that. And I was going to say that before I heard that today anyways. LeBron James is better off losing in this series than losing in the finals against either the Celtics or the Heat. Unless it's the Heat, and I think LeBron James... I think the Lakers have a better chance of beating the Heat than the Celtics.
I think so. I think if the Lakers somehow get to the finals and they're playing the Celtics, I think they'll be favored.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah. But he is better off. Because, he's trying to get Jordan, and he's already 4-6 in the finals, 4-7. I mean, he's a made man. LeBron.
I think, what's... Bill Russell, did he go to 11 finals?
He went to 13.
13.
I believe he lost.
Is Bron number 2? Presumably, other than maybe other Celtics players that were in that time frame.
What, losing finals?
Or no, just going to the finals.
I think Elgin Baylor was like 0-7.
Really?
He never won. I think Jerry West lost 6 or 7 and won 1. Or no, I don't know. No, I think Jerry West won 1, but I think he lost.
But I'm just thinking, like, if he went to his 11th finals... That would probably... He's number 2, right? For appearances.
Oh, for appearances?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah, besides all those Celtics guys.
Right.
It's just at this point, LeBron, he knows he's at the end of the road.
Right.
And he knows more than anybody right now that this is his best shot to win another one.
Yeah.
Because who knows? Like, we didn't think he'd make it this far. I didn't think so.
Right.
To begin the season, or to begin the playoffs.
No, I mean, when they were like... 13th in the West, like in January or whatever?
And,
no one could have imagined.
And everybody knows, listening, that I love LeBron James, and I would love nothing more than for him to win his 5th championship. But losing these first 2 games is not helping, and he's not going to give up. Even if he goes to the finals, he's no stranger to losing the finals.
Yeah, I do agree from the standpoint of like him going to the finals and losing isn't going to help his resume.
Well, especially if he goes and loses against a team like the Celtics or the Heat, because at least in the past for LeBron, he's lost to teams like the Dynastic Warriors,
right.
The Dynastic Spurs. Of course, he lost to the Mavs, which is like the bad one.
Yeah, it's the outlier.
That's the outlier.
Right, you're right.
But the other ones are ones that he was favored in, I would say.
Yeah, so I think that it wouldn't... If he lost in the finals, it's not going to help his resume, and... Personally, for me, it wouldn't hurt his resume, but there are people out there that are like, "Oh, it's another finals loss on the resume."
Exactly.
Like, I don't think that's totally fair, but I get it. Like that could be detrimental.
Does the NBA want Lakers Celtics? Of course.
Oh, that's what they're dreaming for.
But were they? They're going to get Nuggets Heat. The most the unsexiest 2 teams you could ask for.
I think Sixers Nuggets would have been fun. I know I said that last week, but. just Embiid and Jokic going at
Two
it.
big guys.
Two guys that have been going for the MVP the last couple of years as well.
Yeah. On to the Heat and Celtics. Game 1, the Heat beat the Celtics, like we said, 123 to 116.
Big shocker there.
Celtics led by 9 at the half. Heat won the third quarter, 46 to 25.
Fucking ridiculous.
Playoff Jimmy Butler, 35 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals. That's the steals is you don't see a large steal total like that.
Right. So Inside the NBA had this stat that he's like, I want to say he might have been the first guy in playoff history to go 35-5 and 5. 35-5-5-5. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? 35,
35,
5 and 5.
35 points and at least 5
rebounds,
rebounds, assists, and
and
steals.
steals. Yeah. I think he might have been or is in a very select group
Yeah.
of guys to ever do it.
Also, Miami had 6 other players with 15 points.
That's crazy. 6 players with 15 points.
And then Jason Tatum, he did have 30.
Yeah, 30.
He had some bad turnovers at the end of the game, but he had 30.
He kind of Jason Tatum to that game at the end.
I don't know what it is with this guy.
I can't trust him. Like, I know he has he's a little bit fool's gold because, like we talked about over text, like he'll have that 51-point game, but I still can't forget that he went like 5 for 21 the game before.
Yeah.
You know, the 15 plus points for 6 players for Miami is the standout number for me because obviously they're missing Tyler Hero, who's probably their number 2 option on offense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Bam's a good player, but I don't think
he's more
like,
of the defensive guy.
he's not a go-to guy on offense.
He's like their Draymond.
A little bit, yeah. I
Ish.
think he's more skilled offensively than Draymond, but yes, he is more of a factor on defense. And then outside of that, they just got a bunch of guys.
Well, they have Kyle Lowry, but he's older.
But yeah, I mean, no one thinks of Kyle Lowry.
he was
as a
hitting
guy.
shots yesterday.
He was. He was
hitting
one of those
shots.
guys with 15 points.
And he has that championship pedigree.
He does.
I know that the Raptors beat the Warriors without KD, but hey, someone had to win the series, and they did.
Yeah, and Kyle Lowry was a big factor in that series.
So.
It wasn't just Kawhi. So I think that's I don't believe this is going to be a trend, but I think it's a good sign for Heat fans that they are getting contributions from all over the roster.
Let me tell you this: the Celtics, they better show up tomorrow night.
Mm.
They have to.
Celtics are going to win tomorrow. They're going to win tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
They're going to win.
Yeah.
I know that's...
I feel the same. You feel this way like I do about the Lakers not winning 2 in LA. Okay.
The Celtics are going to win.
If I'm putting money down, I would say the same. I don't know.
I think
You
I need to go...
You don't want to lose your 2 home games and then have to go on the road and play the next 2. You don't.
If anyone's in Vegas, put down a parlay for me on Lakers in Game 3, Game 4, money line, and then Celtics Game 2, money line.
Remember this.
Yes.
Remember this.
If anyone's listening and they can get this bet in on time, it doesn't even have to be for me. Do it for yourself.
So you're saying you get the Celtics tomorrow and you get the Lakers the next 2.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm hitting that parlay. I'm jamming it.
You're gonna be wrong. I can't wait to text you Heat culture again tomorrow night, which is your favorite quote of the year so far.
Fucking Heat culture. That's cute.
What time is it?
It's time. Is it that time?
That was easy.
His last call.
Yes, sir.
I didn't think you did the Cowboys one.
It was actually the easiest one for me to hit. I would have had to reach around my beer.
Oh shit! You know what sucks? You have to buy a new button. Or we have to get another.
Oh,
one.
I know. I thought about it because I think my mom said that was cheap. So I think I might get
Buy
another.
like 10.
I might buy a handful. Yeah, that would be funny.
Just make sure we get like stickers on this.
Yeah. How about them Cowboys? We would be a disaster on this show with that.
Yeah,
But I might have to do it anyways.
right.
I'll just set up another table as the
button table.
the soundboard. But it's just a bunch of buttons. Yeah. Oh, we're losing.
I don't have anything for last call.
Really?
I had the Bob Stoops thing, and I was gonna mention Big Vic, but you already did, so I don't have anything.
We're here. We're there. So I have something that's kind of funny. So obviously the Giants they tried to sign Carlos Correa.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. And I know this is very petty of me to do this, but I even called myself hypocritical about the whole situation because at first I was excited because I felt like it was something the Giants needed to do when it sounded like they were going to sign him.
Yeah.
And then when it all fell apart, I thought about it a little more. I was like, I don't think it would have been a good idea. And I felt like Giants fans probably would have not loved this deal the way it played out. And I'm looking at Carlos Correa's stats right now.
I've heard this a couple days ago on the radio.
Carlos Correa, I just really want to know what Giants fans would have thought if Carlos Correa came to the Giants this year and he was hitting 203 at this point of the season. They'd have been throwing up. They'd have been livid. They'd have been like, why did we spend this money? Even though they also, a month and a half prior, would have been like excited about him coming to the Giants. So I think, hindsight is crystal clear. No question about it.
But how would you feel about him and Casey Schmidt on the left side of the infield, though?
Well, of course, athletically, that's a nice. But I don't even think they need both. I like what I see out of Casey Schmidt. Who knows what it's going to be going forward.
Okay.
But I think a prospect is more exciting than spending $30+ million a year on a guy that, has already been good and you don't know if he's going to continue to be good. And honestly, Correa is he's a 20 to 25 homer guy. He's not like a guy that's just going to be a total lineup changing presence. I mean, he's got 6 home runs this year in 40 games. 203 though. That's not going to cut it for Giants fans. I know that for a fact.
Wait. So all of a sudden, you care about batting average?
I'm putting out stats that I think people that listen to us would care about.
I just called you out a little bit.
You did, and that's fair. Because I didn't.
Because you yourself don't care about batting average.
I don't usually. No.
But you want to bring up the batting average.
I don't care about batting average, but in this case, it's valid because 203 is horrendous, no matter.
That's not good. You're right.
It's horrendous no matter what.
Okay.
I would if it was me.
What's the slugging and OPS though? Is that
The OPS is 660, which is 20% below league average,
okay?
which is not good.
Okay, then.
Obviously. 274 on base percentage, not good at all.
Is it fair to say that the batting average can correlate to the slugging and OPS?
Yes.
Then why don't you care about batting average?
Well, they're not direct, but they have batting average has some impact on
Okay.
on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But the thing just batting average tells less of a story than on base percentage and slugging percentage too.
Okay. Gotcha.
But you can't slug, you can't have a good slugging percentage and have an absolute abysmal batting average.
Yeah. Just making sure. I'm just trying to keep you in check over there.
No, I think that was a valid question. I liked it.
Thank you.
I think I needed people like that to carry forth out a little longer. I needed questions like that,
That's fair. That's fair. Also, Brent Burns, he looks good in red.
It works.
It works.
It works.
Is he number 8?
He's number 8 now, and that was his number on the Minnesota Wild before the Sharks acquired him. Of course, he couldn't be number 8 on the Sharks because Joe Pavelski was. So the 8 does look weird, but it's it's
I like 8.
it's traditional for him.
And 88.
I'm also disappointed that Joe Pavelski's not number 8 anymore because that was his number to me.
Do we look into what's the reasoning? Is there someone number 8 already?
think
or
there
is it
was.
retired?
I don't think it was retired, but I think there was number 8 already. Also, 16 was a number that he used for Team USA.
Yeah, just
So
double 8, you get 16.
Right, exactly, yeah. So I think he just kept rolling with that.
Gotcha.
Well,
All right,
what an episode.
that was good,
It was fun.
right?
Little change of pace, little fresh vibes, if you will.
Let us know how it sounded.
Please,
let
please.
us know if you like the format, please.
If you're a regular listener, please let us know. If you're a new listener, thanks for tuning in. And thank you to the regulars for tuning in as well.
The regulars make us still do this,
Right.
so keep at it.
Yes,
Keep at
absolutely. I kind of hope that this game goes to a third overtime so we can have something to enjoy with a cocktail if you're down after this.
Well, what time is it? 9. Yeah, I think I can give away the cocktail.
Okay, all right.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week. Peace.